Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Furnace, which is going to be an engine building game. And this is going to be designed by Ivan Lashin, and it's going to be published by Arcane Wonders. Now, this is a 2 to 4 player game where you're going to play as a capitalist, and you're trying to gain buildings, produce resources, and refine those resources to gain the most money possible by the end of 4 rounds and become the richest at the end. So let's go ahead down to the table here. I'm going to give you a general idea how to play the game. Really easy to teach, so you're going to see that in this real quick overview, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Furnace. This is an engine building game. The players are going to take on the role of 19th century capitalists, building their industrial corporations and aspiring to make as much money as they can by purchasing company, extracting resources, and processing them in the best combinations possible. This game is going to take over 4 rounds to play, and it plays up to 4 players, and each round's going to have 2 phases in it. It's going to have an auction phase and a production phase. To start off the game, for setup, you're going to put out these resources so everyone can get them. You're going to hand out each player a special player card and a starting building. All right, and then for my asymmetric power for this character here, I'm going to get an ability that I can upgrade with steel instead of the upgrade points, which are going to be these little guys right here, these upgrade tokens. But I have to spend my upgrade tokens first. But after that, I can use steel. So that's a pretty good power. So everyone's going to get a power, and everyone's going to get a starting building. And you're going to look at your starting building, and this top resource on here is what you're going to get. In this case, I'm going to get the 2 coal as my starting ability on here. Some of them are going to give you like an upgrade token. Some of them are going to give you a steel and a coal here. And there's a good little stack of different player powers that you can have during the game. And I have set up the game for 4 players. So for 4 players, you're going to have 8 cards in the market row. For 3 players, you'll have 7, and for 2 players, you'll have 6. Now, you'll also put out this board here, and you're going to set it to 1 to show you're on the first round. Everybody's going to get a little stack of bidding tokens. They're going to be 1 through 4 in their color, and whatever color they pick, they will get the token of that color. So I got white there, so I got the gloves. If I would have got black, I would have got the black hat. Yellow would have got the stopwatch, and red would get the wallet. First player gets this handy dandy really cool token, and you are ready to start. So as the start player, you're going to start right into the auction phase. And when you auction for things, you're going to be using your little tokens right here. And for placement on here, you're going to be looking to see if you can get the highest bid on there to win the building. That's what you're trying to get here. However, what's really unique about this game is if you don't win the bid and you have a token on there, you can get the bonus on the top here instead. So let's show how that works. Now, there's not a whole ton of rules to this, but you can't have your same token on the same place, and you can't have the same number as someone else. So let's say, take a look at these resources here, and when we resolve the auction, we're going to go from the top to the bottom, left to right, so I need to keep that in mind. My only resources I really have is these coal here, so I'm not sure that I want to lose any of these ones on top because I don't have steel. But I could go here and I could say this building, I have an upgrade bonus, so that's not great, but I could get the steel. So instead, I have a lot of coal, and this gives me more coal. That isn't too helpful. This one here, though, lets me turn the coal into oil, and then I can turn coal into points, and money is what you win the game with. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and put a 3 here. And my opponent might be like, I really want this building because I have steel, so I'll put a 3 there. This opponent might be like, I need the coal. I'm going to take a 4. I ought to win that. This opponent might be like, I'm really looking for getting the coal. I'll come in and I'll be like, yeah, you know what? Extra coal's nice, so I'll put my 2 there. And we'll go on until everyone has their tokens down on the board in legal positions. So let's say I really wanted that one, this one here, And, oops, can't have the same number in the same spot. This one takes this guy, and we'll put this here, and this will go here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is everyone gets their cards. So no one outbid this person, so they will get this card and they'll put it in their tableau. This one here, the red player will get the card, but the yellow player will be able to exchange steel to oil. And you're looking at the number that they put on here. They put 2, so they can do that twice. So they can exchange up to 2 steel for 2 oil. The black player here can only do that once. After that's all done, the red player will get the card. And then we're going to move on to this one. The red player definitely won this one, but the white player can now trade a steel in, a single one, because it's a 1, for a upgrade token. All right. This player here, the black player here, won this one, so they'll get the card, but this red player here will get 2 steel. Now you'll notice that the person that wins the bid doesn't get the bonus on the top. Only the people that lose the bids get the bonus on the top. This player won this. The white player here is going to get 2 coal, or 4 coal actually, 2 times 2, 4 coal. This player here is going to win this, but the red player here is going to get 2 coal. This one here, the white player won this, but the black player will get 4 coal. And finally, the white player won this one, and the yellow player will be able to trade 2 coal in for a oil. All right. And that is how the auction phase works. Then you're going to have your cards down here, and there's advanced rules on here where it does matter where you place these. I'm going to move them up so you can see them a little better, but in the basic game it doesn't. So you're going to fire these off in any order that you want to, but once you have used them, they're done for the round. So in this one here, I can trade 2 steel in for, I could trade a steel in for 2 money, and I could do that 2 times. So if I look at this card here, it says I have a steel. If I have a steel, I can trade that for 2 money, and I can do that 2 times. Down here, this is the bottom upgraded ability, not available on the other ones. But if I have a upgrade point, or upgrade token and a coal, I can upgrade a card. So if I had those, what upgrading means is I just flip it to the other side. So you notice how this is grayed out? Well, when I flip it, this is actually what I will get. I will get this and this, so it makes it even better. And you want to upgrade these as much as possible, and you want to try to upgrade these before you fire off the action of the building, because if you do that, you get to do the upgrade section too. Otherwise, if you fire it off the building, you don't get to go back and do the upgrade action. So after you fire off all your buildings and get all your really cool resources, you're going to move this to 2, and you're going to start a new round. You'll put out the cards based on your player count. So we're playing 4 players, so in this case, we're going to put out 8 cards. Everyone's going to bid for their cards again. Then you're going to do another production phase, and then you're going to move this down to 3. Then you're going to do the auction phase, production phase, 4, auction phase, production phase, and you do your final firing, and then the person with the most coins at the end of the game wins. One thing I didn't mention is every round this first player token is going to move to the left, so it's going to keep going around. 4-player game, everyone's going to be first at one point or another. So in a really quick nutshell, that is how you play Furnace. Let's go ahead back up the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this game. So I really like Furnace. I was super excited to get this to the table because I played a game that is semi-similar but not really, and that is Spirium. In Spirium, you're not using those bid tokens. You are placing meeples down, and whoever removes the meeple first can potentially get the card, and when they get the card, they have to pay all the other value all the other meeples around it. So it can be costly to do that, but you could pull the meeple off and gain money. There's a little bit more in the mechanism on that end, but that game took a lot longer, and it had the same like engine building feel to it, where you're building these buildings, they're making resources, or they're converting the resources into points or whatever. Really cool game. Played that game a lot, and it is one of those hidden gems. However, this game is replacing it. This game here, the gaining of cards is so much cleaner and so much more ingenious in the way that they're doing it, because I love the fact that you can win a bid, you get the card, but if you don't win the bid, you get the resources that are on the top of the card, or whatever's on the top of the card. And that can be more valuable than actually winning the bid. And there comes a lot of thought in where you're bidding too, because those get resolved in a specific order. So maybe you want to have one that gives you 2 coal and you'll lose that one, so you'll get that one. But later on, you're going to lose the other one. You're like, oh, I wanted to lose that one because I can turn 2 coal into something else with that one. A lot of thought and a lot of strategy comes down to just simply 4 different numbers there that you get to pick from for bidding. It's just really, really cool. And I hope more games from here on out will maybe use that bidding mechanism, because I think it's amazing. It's awesome. Component quality in this game, also amazing. Big wooden chunky pieces for your bidding thing, awesome. Really thick cardboard for all the player pieces, or the board and all that stuff, awesome. Cards are really nice and thick. I think they'll last a long time. And if you ever watch any of my reviews, you know if I sleeve the card, that means I love the game and the game is going in my collection. This game here, I think is going to get a ton of plays. I really love this game. It's super easy to teach. I feel that I will be playing this game for years to come. Just amazing. So I wanted to sleeve it to make sure that I can probably maintain that art on the cards as long as possible, even though those are really good quality cards anyway. So a couple other points that I really like in this game is I really like the asymmetric player powers in the game. I think they add a nice little element to it. They don't really push you to one direction or another, but they can modify your strategy slightly. My biggest thing with those is also my negative for the game, which is super, super low negative. And that's only that those asymmetric powers are so the rest of the game overwhelms them. So when you're trying to get these cards out there, I find it where I'm just like more focused on building my engine than really caring what my asymmetric power is. That's probably just bad gaming on my part, but that was my only negative on there. It wasn't like I would actually frequently forget about it entirely during the game. But so not really a negative. This game is just amazing. So if you're looking for a really light engine building game, and you're looking for one that's super easy to teach, but yet has a large amount of strategy. I can't overstress how much strategy is in that bidding for those cards and how many layers that has in there that is just amazing. Also, all the player interactions in that too, because you're paying attention to what the other players are trying to build, because you don't want them to be able to produce more money than you. So, well, you might see that player over there is looking for a lot of coal conversions on there, and you may just take that card just to be like, well, I guess I just are going to curtail your engine on there. So there's a lot of player interactivity. There's a lot of strategy in that bidding. That is the meat of the game there. Do I want to actually win, or do I want to pretend I win and get a ton of resources or a ton of whatever? Really cool, really amazing game. I really can't stress how much I love this game. If you like engine building games and you're looking for one that's easy to teach, I highly recommend checking out Furnace. Thank you for watching.